What's going on YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be and welcome to Redstone 2. This is a brand new action RPG mixed with a hero collector. This game is currently in a closed beta, but it will hit global launch on July 10th on iOS as well as Android. So with all that being said, let's just jump directly into combat so I can show you kind of how this game works. Now this should be a screen that a lot of us are very familiar with. You'll go through each stage on normal, hard, and then very hard, trying to get 3 stars so you can collect experience points as well as materials and equipment. Pretty straightforward. We've seen that in games before. Here is a squad that I'm going to go into combat with. My character here with the cool pigtails, she's my main character. In this game, you do select a main character. They are gender lock classes, so you have selections like warrior, archer, priest, etc. The characters in the back come from the hero gacha, so that's where the hero collecting aspect comes from. So let's just jump into combat here. I'm also going to bring a friend unit as well. So as you collect people on your friends list, you can bring their most powerful unit into combat with you as well. So load times are okay, but they're very frequent. So they're not super long, but they're very frequent. Hopefully they can do a little something about that as we go along. Now I'm gonna turn off auto battle really quick. Now in this game, there's no digital joystick. So you might be used to like a digital joystick on the left side of your screen. This game does not have it. So basically it's click to move or just hold your thumb on the screen to move around. If you double tap, you can do kind of a dash. But for the most part, I would recommend keeping it on auto battle. For me, you know, I got big fingers, so trying to like keep my finger on the screen all the time, moving them around is just too much for me. So I don't do that. So my main character is gonna go around here. You cannot switch to your other characters. You only control your main character, but you can do your companions' special abilities and things like that. You can also make them target certain people by just trying to basically drawing a line to the enemy. So you do have some control of them, but most of your combat is going to be controlling your main character. So let's show you a few of my different moves right here. So I have this basically this dashing punch, dashing kick, a couple of multi kicks there. I got bugged here. That is not supposed to be a thing, by the way. I got this shoulder dash. I'm gonna have to show you some different combat because I'm not supposed to be dragging this random ogre. I also have this ability right here, which basically allows me to pick up an enemy and just bounce them around. So that was a little bit awkward. Let's do some more combat here. I am not supposed to be dragging this ogre around with me. But that kind of gives you the gist of combat here. After combat is over, equipment will drop, and the UI is actually really well done. I can instantly equip better gear right there in that screen, so that's actually pretty cool. So let's do another stage here because that was a little bit awkward. I'm going to do this stage on very hard, kind of step it up just a little bit so I can show you. This is right around my power level, so this should show you a little bit better what the combat is like, fighting things that are a little bit more appropriate to your level. And here we are. All right. So once again, showing you the combat moves I wasn't able to show you really well before. My dashing punch. Cool little kick right there. Multi kicks and a little shoulder dash. Or actually, yeah, there's the shoulder dash right there. And of course I have a healing pot and some mana potions as well. And then I also have this finisher move where I can basically grab an enemy and throw them away this time. There we go. You're not supposed to drag them with us. And that's basically combat in a nutshell. Like I said, most of the combat will come from your main character and then any companions that you acquire over the course of the game through the hero gacha. And I'll show you what the gachas look like in a second after we get out of combat here. Now you can turn on the auto battle, like I said, and all the auto battle does is just move you towards the enemy and perform basic attacks. It will not do your skills unless you pay gold. So every single stage, if you want to play auto with abilities, you can do so by paying an additional gold. Now, when you're fighting boss encounters like this, you can also do a transformation ability. Every single character has a transformation. My particular character transforms into a ninja. This is actually really a smart thing to do if you're in an encounter that's actually pretty difficult, because your transformation has its own life bar and own mana bar. So you can kind of do that, you know, after your main form is a little weak, you can switch to your transformation form and kind of get more bang for your buck. Like I said, very cool UI. I got some better boots. I can equip them right there in that screen. Very straightforward. So that kind of gives you a feel of combat. So what are you going to be doing with all this combat, FG? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's go back to town and I'll show you more about what you'll be doing in this game. So I'm going to start off with the character screen here to kind of show you a few different things, especially since this tip kind of hinted towards job changes. Let me show you what the job changes are like in Redstone 2. So click on character. Here is my character and all the equipment. Pretty straightforward when it comes to equipment systems here. You can basically get drops from the equipment gacha and of course through stages. And then you can dismantle gear that you don't want and use that dismantle material to enhance the gear that you do want. And there you go, enhanced my mercenary knuckles, and now it got more powerful. In this game so far, the weapons have shown up on my character, but the armor has not, and that's because they do sell costumes in the cash shop. So you'll be fine when it comes to weapons. All of your weapons will show up on your character, but your armor will not. So that is that. Here are my two companions, and they also have full equipment screens as well, full enhancement screens as well. So you're going to be managing quite a bit of gear in this game. Everyone has their own different equipment sets. Also, in addition to that, your main character does have a skill tree. So your more powerful abilities or your favorite abilities, you can also upgrade them as you move along. This is the transformation skill tree. And then there's also passives as well. So there's tons and tons of skills to level up. And luckily, you only have to level them up on your main character, not all of your characters, thankfully. In addition to that, there's also a job change system as well. So when you start the game, you're going to be a fighter. You're going to look like this, basically. Once you hit level 20, you can choose between being a wanderer or a monk. And each one of these characters has different abilities. And then you can move on to whatever this is called, and a warlord as well. And for whatever reason, my character has a lot to say in this screen. Like, she just... I wish this was in English, because I'm very curious on how she's talking so much. And then at level 50, you can change into a warlord, and of course, you can also preview this as well at any time. So I'll jump in there and kind of take a look at what it's like to be a warlord, so we can all see this. So you still have your basic abilities from your basic classes as well. So I have that dashing punch, I got that kick there, the multi-kick, the punches with the shoulder dash, and then here's the warlord ability right here. Very cool. In addition to that, your transformation skills also have new abilities as well. So put runes on the ground, make everything go boom. Some poison darts, little dashes, and then here is the ultimate ability where she summons some shadow clones. And there you have it. And once you start getting a lot of skills, you can also queue up your next skill as well. So if I do a kick, I can queue up my next kick very easily by just tapping the next key there. So that is your character. This is going to be your progression when it comes to your character. And each one of the character classes, like I said, all have different character trees. And I can actually show you that here in a second. So let's go back out to our home screen. I'll show you the different character classes, and then we'll end the video showing you what different modes you'll be able to take part in with all these characters and all this gear and all these skills and all that stuff. So go up here, change adventurer. So like I said, there's a lot of loading screens. The loading screens aren't particularly long, but there's a lot of them. So here's the warrior. Like I said, everybody is gender locked, and everyone has a transformation. Here's my character here. I already showed you that. There's her ninja form, and here's the priest. Changes into this archangel, which is actually pretty cool. You can open up additional character slots. So far, just by gold. I don't know if that changes to cash shop currency later on. And it does also appear that each one of your characters will have their own stamina meter as well, or stamina currency. So once you basically spend all your stamina on one character, you can just switch to another character and keep the party going. So that is that. So hopefully that kind of gives you a gist of the characters. Now, as far as the different modes that are in the game, if you click on the challenge button, this will kind of show you everything. So there's Expedition. Expedition is basically like a World of Warcraft garrison. You send your companions on missions, they go away for a couple of hours, and they come back with materials. So pretty straightforward. As you can see, both of my characters are going to be gone for another hour, and they're going to come back with goodies. You can still use your characters while they're on an expedition, however, which is good. You got your daily dungeon. Every single day there's a different material type. Right now it's wind. You go in there and you farm your wind materials. Once again, pretty straightforward. 5 towers is your endless tower mode. Once again, this is kind of a staple of games like this right now. Go up the tower, get loot. You have limited keys per day, but they do regenerate over time. As you can see, I've used all 3 of my keys, but in 59 minutes, I'll get another key and I'll be able to jump in here again and do some more of the tower. Each tower is a little bit different. So this tower right here drops weapons, and this tower over here on the right drops hero gacha characters. There is Arena, which is live arena. Since this game is in beta and it's kind of, you know, very early, there's not too many people online. It takes a very long time to find a match, but hopefully once this game is globally launched, it'll be a little bit better. But this is all live PvP, you and your companions versus someone else and their companions. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty interesting there. 2 modes that I do not have unlocked right now. One is called Total War, but you need to have at least 15 companions, which I do not have. And then there's Party Raid that's unlocked at level 30. So if I do decide to play this game at global launch, I'll show you more of this. But those are the modes that are currently in the game. Last but not least, there is a guild function as well. And there is more to this guild than meets the eye. But like I said, I just don't have everything just yet. There's a mode called Runes of Tantalus, which require you to have quite a few characters. As you can see, I only have myself and 3 companions. So there's a lot to this mode. You're gonna be much better off if you have 3 full teams of characters to kind of help your guild. Right now, once again, this is long-term content. I won't be able to show you in this video, but just wanna kind of let you guys know that there is more to this game than meets the eye, basically. Also with guilds, there is a guild hall where you can actually go in and see any of your other guild members that just so happens to be in the guild hall at the moment. So here's your guild hall, and you can also upgrade some of the furniture and things in the guild to give your guild passive buffs and whatnot. So once again, this is some long-term content. It's something to do with your guild and something to build towards. So there's somebody right there in my guild just hanging out. There's another guy hanging out in the guild. So interesting, interesting. All right, so let's end the video off by showing you the different types of gachas in the game. Maybe. All right, over here to the summon. So you got a few different gachas here. So you have the companion gacha. You can use in-game gold as well as these carrot currencies. The game does give you a few carrots. You know, just like any game, the game is going to give you a trickle of cash shop currency. But the orange carrots are the ones that you buy from the cash shop. So that is that. If you want to do some of these companion gachas, you'll need that. There's equipment gachas, which require gold, which is actually pretty good. So every couple of levels, you can actually go in here and select. So let's say you want armor for level 25. You pay 25,000 gold and you get yourself 1 piece of armor through the gacha. If you don't want to do that, you can just farm stages and enhance the current gear that you have. But you do have this option to use gold to get every piece of gear that you want in-game without the cash shop. So that's pretty cool. And then there's legendary equipment. This currency right here is not a special currency. This is the currency that you get from dismantling gear. So once you've dismantled so much gear, and let's say you just haven't gotten really good luck on getting the RNG that you want, you can go in here and get legendary gear just by using that dismantle currency. So kind of like a safety net. And that about does it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Redstone 2. Like I said, this game will be globally launched on July 10th. Right now, the game is only in a closed beta, and I do believe that the content will be wiped, but I haven't seen it. Like spelled out, but I assume it will be. Here's a look at some of the costumes that you can get in the game. A mix between cash shop only costumes as well as in-game cash costumes as well. So it's not all cash shop. Like this right here, you can buy with cash or in-game gold. In-game gold. So a few different options here. Lots of in-game gold costumes. Definitely appreciate that. Even for Christmas. You got some Halloween stuff. Wow, that just takes your entire character away. But that will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, this was a look at Redstone 2. My name is FG3000. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next video. Later.